get everything situated here. Hey, Sandy. Hello, everybody. So, give me a second. Hey, pizza lover. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to ask you that you share this out. This is an important message today. I want you all to share this out. Please do. And this is a story you don't want to miss. I will guarantee you that much right now. It will not only break your heart, but it will enlighten you on how our system and how people need to get more involved. I'm doing great today, pizza lover. How are you doing? So we'll give this a few minutes for people to come in. I want to introduce Angie. She is this your first time on a Zoom meet, kiddo? It is? Oh, you're doing awesome. Awesome. So this is Angie. She is the aunt to the two little girls, Brittany and Victoria. Tori, they called her. And she has agreed to come on here today and tell her story, the girls' story, about what can be done and what happened and what happens in domestic abuse. And not only domestic abuse, but child abuse. And this is going to be a very upgrading emotional stream. So it is a trigger also. So I will give this a few minutes. Tony, thank you for coming in. Thank you very much. Love and light. Yep, Tony says love and light, Angie. So we do have some good people that come in here. And we're just going to give this a few minutes and let everybody come in. You're from down in Florida, huh?
Yeah.
What part of Florida are you from?
I'm in Lakeland.
Okay, so you're, hey, Tina. Hi, honey. She's out. Tina's out in the audience. She's blowing you a kiss.
Mhm.
So, you get a lot of those hurricanes then coming in and out of there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm an old pro. I raised my kids in Clearwater.
Oh my
I'm an
God.
old pro.
My
I,
God.
I've been here most of my life. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale.
Right. So you're down around all that Brian Laundry crap too going
A
on.
little bit. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, a
So
little.
Jenna is my mod over there in YouTube land. Jenna, I'm going to tell you, I love you first, very, very, very much. And this is a story that I'm serious. As soon as you see somebody come in, mouthing off, take them out. This is not the stream to be putting up with anybody. So, and please share this out. Please share this out. And we're going to be talking about a story today that is very, very sad and very, very triggering. So, Coach Isms, hey bud, how's it going? Thank you, damn it, Jenna. I love you very much. This is Angie, in case y'all don't know. I'm going to ask y'all to share this out, please. This is a very, very important stream. We're going to be talking about two little girls. Hey, hippie soul. Two little girls by the name of Brittany and Tori. Brittany was 12, Tori was 10 years old, and their mother, Trisha, was 29. And what we're going to be talking about today, Joy, take no prisoners, honey. Take no prisoners. Take them out as soon as you see them if you get any trolls in there. Now, there might come a point where Angie's got to dip off real quick. She's got 2 little ones there at the house with her. So we're going to work around her schedule. But, Angie, is everything okay? You okay with telling this story, babe?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, honey. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start off with this story. And I'm just going to go ahead and show, I'm going to show a picture here real quick. If I can find one, what the hell did I do with it? Okay, let me show it here. All right.
Step outside here for a minute.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. So, I'm proud of you, Angie. Love you. Oh, Tina said she's proud of you and she loves you.
Oh, I love her back the most.
So, these are the 3 souls that we're talking about right now. Up here in the left-hand corner this is Trisha. She was 29 when she was killed. This little girl right here, her name is Brittany. Now, look at these pictures. Look at these pictures, and we're going to be talking about them. I'm going to leave these pictures up here so that you all can see this. And this little one right here, this little angel down here in the right-hand corner, her name is Victoria. Yes, Ghost is sick today, guys. He is very, very sick. Lady Swan, bless your little heart. Thank you, honey. You got a wrench. Take them out as they come. Take them out as they come, babe. This little soul down here in the right-hand corner is Miss Victoria. They called her Tori, and she was 10 years old. Now, here's what we're going to be doing. Hey, cute kitty. I am not going to be looking. Please, folks, do not take offense if I do not answer the chat right now at this time and point, because I'm going to be pulling up pictures. I'm going to be pulling up police records. I'm going to be pulling up court records, and we've got a story to tell here that is absolutely atrocious. And please share this out, everybody. Please share this out. So, let's go back to 2004. Okay, Angie?
Yeah.
You tell me if you want me to stop, and I will.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I just want to make sure that you're okay with all of this that I'm going to be talking about. So back in, I'm going to stop sharing for right here, right now. And I'm going to go over to another. Back in 2004, these 3 little girls that I just showed you a picture of, and I don't know, can you see the court records that I just pulled up, Angie?
Yeah, I see him.
Okay, all right. These 2 little girls had a grandmother and a step-grandfather that they considered their grandfather. His name was David Thomas. He sexually molested these 2 little girls, Brittany, Victoria, along with another one. I will not say her name. He sexually molested these children. Here they are, stepsisters, AA. Okay, VW, BW. Grandmother's house when AA mother and VW's father worked nights. Now, he molested these 2 little girls. BW reported the molestation to a friend, and a friend told a teacher. The teacher asked each girl about the allegations, and they admitted that Thomas had molested them, all 3 young ladies, all 3 little girls, at the time, 12, 10. During the course of his investigation, the Child Protective Services Deputy Trevor Harm interviewed AA first and did not record her statement because he was not sure if she had been molested. Now, right there, I see a problem with that. You've got a little girl saying she was molested and you're not sure, so you're not going to take her statement? What the fuck is wrong with that?
A whole lot. The whole thing had a little strange feel to it. Like I said, when it all came out within the same week, my daughter came out to me, and Indiana would not prosecute on my children's behalf because they were Florida residents.
So your children were also molested by this Dave.
Yes.
And then they would not prosecute because you were out of state.
Yes.
See, what's wrong with this?
That's what I said. They said, "Oh, well, it's going to look like we're trying to sink him. It might cost us the case," he said.
Oh my God. And I can't even go into the details. But she even said that he touched her. Oh God, I can't even go into it. It goes into such detail about what this man did to these little girls. It's disgusting. Disgusting. What he did to these little girls. I've got the court records here. If any of you would want the court records, let me pull them up. Let me pull up my chat. You can read the court records right there. It's all public. All public. So, who are we talking about? We're talking about David Thomas. He is in Indiana. So I decided to go a little bit further and make sure that he was on the court registration. And let me show what I pulled up here. Let me go into it. I want to show you what this idiot looks like. Hold on, let me find him. Let me find him. So why don't you tell us a story about how this all came about, Angie?
I live in Florida, and like I said, I raised my children over in Clearwater, and the girls, for other reasons, I had cut ties off with my mother for other reasons. They hadn't talked to each other in over a year. I want to point that out, that these children had not talked to each other in over a year. These 4 girls were five girls. They were tight. Anyway, my youngest daughter came out telling, her story. Kaylee came to me, my oldest daughter, and she's like, "Hey, Mom, Cassidy told me this." And she said the only person ever that she told was her friend who had moved to Missouri. I was very close to her mother. So I immediately called Missouri, immediately called there, said, "Hey, Cass told me the story. Can you talk to your daughter?" She called back. It confirmed it. I immediately called CPS, made my report, therefore, not even a week later. Now, mind you, these children haven't talked. Not even a week later, Brittany came out to her friend. So it was God sent. I mean, this was meant to come out. You know what I mean? It was
right. Right. Well, I'm going to show you right now. This is Dave Thomas. Now, remember everybody, this is in 2004. He was convicted in 2005 or 4, and he was sentenced in 2005. This is he has to register the rest of his life as a sexual predator. Now, first I was thinking it showed 30 years Department of Corrections. Well, that is depending on, and I was confused because there's five sentences here. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years for each one of the three little girls. And then he had 30 years DOC, 30 years DOC. Well, come to find out, so I was reading and did a little bit of research. Well, this depends on the kind of sexual abuse he did. So that's what this was all about. But he is convicted, and he is now out. He was out June, let me see. Registration started 2015. So he is a lifetime registrator. He's got to register with him. So this is the beginning of what these little girls went through. Just FYI, the beginning of what these little girls went through. And let me show you. So, their mother, Trisha, had a drug problem. Well, let's go back a little bit. Their father, Ryan, is your brother, correct, Angie?
Yeah.
So the father of these two little girls and this lady up here, Trisha, met through you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell us a story about that?
Trish used to come and stay with the lady across the hall from me, and I befriended her, and she used to babysit for my daughter Kaylee. And Ryan, being my brother, came over, and Trish was just in love with my brother. She loved my brother, and they were on and off for many years through high school. And then finally, after high school, they married.
Right. So how long were they married for, Angie?
I want to say 3 years.
3 years?
Maybe 4.
Mm-hmm. And within those 3 years, they had these two little girls, Brittany, and then they had Victoria.
Yeah. Maybe 4 years, maybe 4.
So Victoria lost, or not Victoria, Trisha lost custody of these girls. Custody was given to your brother, correct?
Yes.
And is it because Trisha had a drug problem?
Yes. Yes.
She had a meth problem, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now, I'm going to tell you all right now, this is going to end up being pretty sad. Sad story. And so, yeah, it's pretty sad. So what Trisha had been doing is working on being able to see her girls without supervised visitation. She had been, what was she doing? Was she going through classes and that kind of thing, Angie?
Yeah. Yeah. She had to do parenting classes. She had to test clean. Well, finally, she did. Finally, after years of being on supervised visits, I mean, she had a hard time with it. She really had a hard time. And finally, year after that, she came off, and CPS told my brother, you have to make them see them. Go over there. They have to go, you have to. Well, when they did it, because they didn't want to, when they didn't, she complained, and they told him, if you don't make them go, you'll be found in contempt of court.
So, so it was either he let them go over there without supervised visitation. Now, the girls didn't want to go. Is that correct?
Yeah, they didn't like going.
Now, Trisha, at the time, was married to a man by the name of Chad Cottrell. Is that how you pronounce it? Cottrell. Cottrell. Chad Cottrell. She was married to a Chad Cottrell who was also on drugs, meth.
Yes.
And they had a very volatile relationship. The girls didn't want to go over there, but yet the courts made them. Trisha had been going to classes, she'd been trying to clean herself up, but the girls still didn't want to go over there. And finally, their dad said, "You've got to go, or what's going to happen, Angie?"
I'm gonna have to do weekends in jail.
Okay. So these two girls were forced to go with their mother on a weekend. And it was the weekend of Halloween, which was the 29th and 30th. So why don't you tell the story of what happened, Angie?
All right. Well, let's start off like I wasn't there. I was in New Orleans doing charity work for the churches, for the hurricanes. I at the time I ran crews to do floors, and my brother called and he's like, "Hey, I think Trish took the girls," and I'm like, "What?" Because she had did that once before. I said, "No, I don't think so, Ryan. They're too old now. Brit's hard to handle. Brit wouldn't go for that." I'm like, "I don't think so, Ryan. I think you need to check that out. I don't think so. Give her." So we gave her some time. We still couldn't get anybody to answer on the phone. Brittany didn't show up to her dance recital. Everybody was freaking out. So they kept going to the house. Chad's dad, had been there and said, "No, nobody's here. Nobody's here." He was working out in the barn. Finally, I believe it was Halloween day. Finally, I was on the phone with Ryan later in the night, and I said, "Hey," I said, "you need to get in that house." I
So
said,
okay, so let's back up a little bit. So what happened was Trisha got the girls, right?
"Yes,
And the little one, Victoria Tori, wanted to stay there at the house, and what she wanted to get arrowheads, right? Find
yeah,
arrowheads.
yeah."
And
They
so she
lived in
was alone
Rockland.
there with Chad and a little 6-year-old boy.
Okay,
The-
no, the boy was with Trish.
with
Trish
Trish at the time. Okay.
Trish, Brittany, and their little half brother from her second marriage took off to some Halloween party or something. And
Okay.
Tori stayed with Chad. Tori
Okay.
stayed to Arrowheads with
Okay.
Chad.
All right. So it's just Chad and her at the house alone.
It's just Chad and Tori Bear at the house. And
Okay.
he, in that time period, um, I can't I can't put it out of my mouth what he did to her, but in your worst thoughts is what Tori went through. In every aspect of abuse, Tori went
So
through that.
so this little okay. So well Karen or well Trisha and Brittany are at this party. He got a hold of little Victoria. Chad did. He did some horrific things sexually. He beat her with a baseball bat, smothered her with a pillow, beat her to death. Beat her to death, a little 10-year-old girl. Now, Tori, or Trisha, shows up with Brittany. Is that correct, Angie?
Yeah, she
The
came
little
in with
boy and the little boy, and they walk in, and she asks where Tori is. And he tells Trisha that Tori wasn't feeling good, so she's in the bedroom laying down. So, you want to continue from there?
yeah, I got you. Um, so time passes. She never checks on Tori. Time passes. And late at night, wee hours of the morning, he shot Trish in the face 5 times. The other children wake up and he says, "I just shot a deer out the window. Go back to bed." They go back to bed. And he sits in the bedroom with his wife's dead body. He sits there and then he goes into Britt's bedroom and he tells Brittany, "Your mom's hogging the bed. Can I come in here and sleep?" And she's half asleep, whatever. And he he goes in there and he starts to try to tie her arm to the bed. She wakes up and starts to fight. And she fight, and in court he kept saying she was scrapper. She was born scrapper. That little girl was a scrapper. She fought. RJ came in, leave my sissy alone. He got tired of fighting with her, didn't even look at her, took the gun and shot her in the face. Then he took off and got him some dope. He came back, grabbed RJ, took RJ to his real dad's, and he left, went and played golf. Then he took off to heading to Canada. After he played golf, he went back to the house, got him some stuff, and went to go to Canada.
Now, was he high when he committed these murders?
In court, his exact words, as sickening as they were we had got off the dope and we were getting fat as hogs. So we went back on the dope. He said, Trish wasn't putting out and I was all jacked up, and Tori looked just like her mama.
Oh my God. He had been sexually molesting these little girls for a long time.
That never came out, that Chad was molesting them. I mean, it
Okay,
never.
so I found a newspaper article that stated that. Whether or not it was true, I don't know, but I did find a newspaper article stating that. Hang on, let me see if I can find it now. Unbelievable what these little girls went through. Because not only have they been sexually abused by their grandfather, hey Jesse, by their grandfather, but now they're sexually abused by their stepdad. Let me see. I've got so much here pulled up on him.
They put one monster away, and a year later, another one came and took their life.
Okay, so this is what it says. Let me share this as we go through some of this. Okay, so here's what this says. It says, this is him. This is Chad. Would you say Cottrell? I can't pronounce it.
Cottrell.
Cottrell. Oh, Cottrell. Okay. Well, I'll just call him asshole for short. Chad asshole says he got what she deserved. Satan spawned. She got what she deserved. A man charged with killing his wife and his two stepdaughters said to reporters Thursday that his spouse got what she deserved. Chad Cottrell comment came as officers led him into the courthouse, where a hearing was held over prosecutors' intention of filing for death penalty in the case. Prosecutors alleged that Cottrell, 35, killed his wife Trisha Cottrell, 29, and her daughters Brittany and Victoria in late October after he molested the girls. The three found shot to death in their Rockville area home. So, did he molest Brittany also when he killed her?
No.
Just a little.
He was trying to, but Brittany fought.
But he did molest little Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay, it says he extended a police vehicle. Cottrell called his wife the name that was censored seconds later after someone asked him whether he deserved the death penalty. He said she got what she deserved. Okay, it said Park County Sheriff's Charles Bollinger said Thursday that investigators have physical evidence that Cottrell molested the girls. I'm sorry, I must have read that wrong when I said had been. But, yeah. That right there is some sick shit. Sick shit. So, then, let's find this, where this is. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll stop sharing. I'll pull up that television thing. So, okay, so he takes off. He goes to Canada. Then he comes back to Minnesota.
No, they caught him on his way to Canada. He was in Minnesota.
Okay, all right. And why don't you tell me, in there it says the grandfather was the only one that found them kids. But
No,
that's not true. Your brother was with him, right?
yeah, I was on the phone with him when he found
Yeah.
them.
Why don't you go ahead and tell that story, honey?
Um, well, with Ryan, I told him, you need to get in the house. You need to get there. If you don't know how to get in, call me. I'll tell you how to get in. And he said, all right. So he called me. I'm here. I'm here now. We're getting in. And he's like, me and Rick are going in. Him and Rick went in, and wow, this is hard. Um,
Do you want me to help?
no,
Are you
I,
okay?
they went into the house, and immediately my brother was, oh my God, he killed my babies. My babies are dead. Oh my
Oh,
God, they're dead. And Rick was screaming, oh my God, Brittany's dead. And I could hear them. And like I said, I was doing charity work for New Orleans, for people, it was bad down there.
ugh.
And so I just kind of froze, and they kind of took the phone from me there. But that's how he found his children.
Oh my God, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine. My heart really goes out to you folks. Angie, I cannot imagine. When Tina, and you all know who Tina is, her and Angie are cousins. When Tina came to me, to Ghost, about this story, and I said, sure, we'll cover it. I did not, when I started looking into this the other day, the intent and how deep this all went as far as the girls being molested for a long time, from their grandfather on now to at the hour of their death by this asshole. Now, you said Chad and Trisha had a pretty domestic violence type thing. Do you know anything about that?
I know very little about that. I didn't have much to do with Trish. I was kind of the reason she got, even though I wasn't speaking to Ryan at the time, she was kind of the reason she got caught cheating and being on drugs was because of me. So,
Right,
so I didn't talk to her much, and
right,
I didn't have a lot to do with her. But yeah, I do know that she had went to her ex-mother-in-law because she said she wanted to try to leave Chad, but those bridges were burned.
right,
She had burned so many bridges, not many people were willing to help her. Not many people took her seriously because she lied so much and she did so much bad.
right.
So nobody really took her seriously. And I'm sure, she feels really bad about that because, she didn't know how serious it was, you know.
So this, so they catch him, and then this goes to trial, and he's going to get 3 counts of homicide. Right? He's charged with 3 counts of homicide. So it goes to trial. He pleads, well, first of all, he pleads guilty to begin with. But then didn't his attorney plead him innocent after that? Even though Chad said, yes, I did it.
I have to bring this up before it slips my mind and I get really, really too emotional. You brought up something about when it was all said and done and the shittement was over. You said something about the letter that he had wrote to the court, or the statement he made about, oh, my mom didn't. The reason he made that statement, this guy is such a piece of shit. The reason he made that statement in the beginning of this shittement, he stated that my mom touched my wee wee when she was giving me a bath. So then at the end of it all, he went and made a statement, oh, my mom didn't touch me. I
We're
wasn't
going to
molested.
play that. We're going to play that right now. Hang
And the
on.
reason he made that statement was because he was throwing mama under the bus to get himself out of this shit, to get a psych thing going on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he did. He threw his mom and said, my mom touched my wee-wee when she was giving me a bath. And then he went out at the end of it, oh, my mom didn't do anything to me.
What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Can you guys all see, can you see this screen right now with Cottrell sentenced? Can you all see that? Let me make sure you all can see it. Oh, probably not, because I didn't share it yet. So hang on. Okay, we're going to play just that. Here we go. We're going to play, this is what Angie's talking about. So in court, he was trying to blame his mother for molestation. And then he changes his story during this statement, correct?
Yeah, at the end of it all, he comes out, oh, my mom didn't do anything to me.
Okay, here we go.
County judge ordered Cottrell to serve 3 consecutive life sentences in prison, a ruling that's leaving family members and residents with mixed emotions. But before Cottrell entered the courtroom, he made this statement.
I'd like to say that my mother is a saint. She never molested me in any way, or my sister. Neither did my father. They're outstanding parents. That's pretty much all I got to say. I'll take responsibility for my actions.
What a piece
I'll
of
pay the
shit.
price, whatever that is. Thank you.
No remorse. No remorse.
Cottrell and grandparents of 12-year-old Brittany Williams and 10-year-old Victoria Williams. A life behind bars isn't enough.
As a dad and a grandfather, my first thought was, how many...
Okay, now this is the father of Trisha, correct?
Yeah, her dad and her stepmother right there, Trish.
Okay, all right.
How many people do you have before you do get to death sentence?
Strong feelings shared by some Rockville residents after the brutal murder shook the small Indiana town.
I think he should have got a death penalty. And I don't personally think it's enough punishment for what he did.
Taking the lives of 3 people.
She's a very nice lady, and they were very sweet girls. So it was a loss. So I'm glad that they put him away as quickly as they did, and unfortunately, he's been sentenced.
Exactly, Jenny.
Now, Cottrell did write a letter to the judge in March of this year asking to be sentenced to death by lethal injection. But even with some controversy over the sentencing, after talking with residents today, one thing is for sure. Everyone is glad it's finally over.
Okay, let's talk about this letter, shall we? Unbelievable that he had the balls to do that. Now, looking at from... Okay, so... Everybody, this is what happened. So he gets to the sentencing phase. He writes a letter to the judge. Asks him to be put down. Death penalty. He wants lethal injection. Okay, so the judge says to him, no. No. You are going to be in prison the rest of your life. That is the worst that can happen to you. He's got a lot of fucking balls to try to dictate to anybody how he dies after what he did to them people.
He didn't want to die. It was a manipulation ploy. He manipulated the court. And that's all that was. That was just a manipulation to do the opposite of what he asked for. It was just a manipulation ploy so that he didn't get the death penalty.
See, and I'm looking at it as he wanted the death penalty because he didn't want to spend the rest of his time in prison.
He's
but
not
you know what?
For that.
You said he's been stabbed twice?
That I know of, yeah.
That you know of. And so I did a little bit of research, Angie. I come up with some stuff. Let me see if I can find it. Chad Cottrell, or whatever the hell his name is, versus Monet Slaughter. So I have no idea. I could not, apparently, hang on, let me share this. Let me share this. There we go. Maybe you know about this. I don't know. So I did a little bit of research. This was filed back in 2019. So defendant is Don Bush and Monet Slaughter. He is taking them to trial. Okay? Appeals of 7th Circuit. What he is saying is motion to appeal in order that the appeal is dismissed. So he is doing an appeal on his case. Did you know about that?
No, I did not.
Okay. But he's also stating that state prisoner civil rights were, his civil rights were his civil rights were not followed through. And let me see. Here's an appeal. So I haven't gotten into this too much further because I ended up running out of time. But how dare him bitch about any kind of civil rights? He should have no fucking rights at all, in my opinion.
He's beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty. Anybody that is beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty of a crime of that should have no say so. And I'm sorry, they should be put down. They put my dog down for less.
Well, you know what? I think that would be too. I hear babies, so I'm not going to cuss.
Oh.
That would be too fucking good. Well, here I am cussing. That would be too damn good for him. He needs to be beat the shit out of every fucking day like he did to Tori. And, I mean, he needs to go out the same way he took them girls out, in my opinion. I mean, I'm fuming over this case. You know, those girls didn't have a doggone chance in hell with those assholes.
No, they were babies. You know, I mean, Tori was 10. She's my grandson's age. You know, still believed in Santa Claus, still believed in the Easter Bunny. You know, she was a baby.
God almighty. And Brittany, too. You said Brittany she was bipolar?
Yeah.
She had some mental issues. He needs to be kicked hard. Yes, he does, Dream Girl. I can watch chat now. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever for Angie, she is very considerate. She's able to answer anything. If she feels like she doesn't want to, she will tell you that she doesn't want to. But she answered everything I had to ask her the other day, so she's pretty good about it. And hey Sharon, hello everybody. I am so sorry that I wasn't paying attention to chat, but you know, I don't know, Angie. I don't know how in the hell you guys made through this. He needs broomstick parties in the shower. No kidding, Jenna. No kidding. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. So, how is your brother doing now?
My brother has started a new life. He still suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right.
There's a lot of different triggers, you know, smells, seeing things. There's a lot of triggers.
Now,
But,
he found the bodies. They found the bodies, on the 31st of October,
Yeah.
Halloween. And so they had been in there for a couple days. Now, Tori was murdered on the 29th of October. And then the 30th, Brittany was murdered, correct?
Wee hours of the morning, her and Trish were murdered on the 30th.
On the 30th, because they didn't come home until later on that evening, correct?
Right. Okay. So, I mean, we're not positive, like, exact time of death. And that was something that Rick wanted to push for, was a more exact time of death. And he was trying to do something called the Brittany Act, to where they could give you a better time of death. But I don't think it ever went through. I don't think anything ever happened with that.
Right. So were all three of them buried together then?
Yeah, Yeah, Trisha's in the middle, and the two girls are on her side, and now Rick is behind them.
And Rick is your
No, he's Trisha's dad.
Trisha's dad. He's the one that passed away here not too long ago, right?
A little while ago. My dad passed away a couple weeks ago.
Right, right. Okay.
Rick passed away a few years ago, and he's buried right behind him. Now,
Oh my,
Rick had helped Ryan in the beginning. He knew Trish was falling. So he helped Ryan with the custody and all of that.
right,
So when I said, you get in the house, you need to get Rick and y'all need to get in the house.
right, right,
That's how I put that to him.
right,
Because it was just automatic because Rick helped Ryan. And
right.
Brittany, at the time, because Brittany was hard to handle, Brittany was living with Rick until they could get other rooms added to the house they had just bought because their house had been burnt down.
God, what a hard life. What a crap life.
After the David Thomas case, someone came, vandalized their cars and the kids' new bicycles. And then just a little shortly after that, they burned their house down and killed their pets.
Did they find out who did that? No.
To this day, they don't know who burned down their house, but he lost most of his pictures of the kids and he lost everything, their pets.
God almighty, this just breaks my heart. I mean, that whole family, you guys have been through hell. Been
No,
through hell,
you don't even know.
you know? So what about the little boy? I won't tell his real name. I know what his real name is, but how was he? This was back in 2005 that this happened. So that's been 16 years ago. He's what, 22 now?
Yeah.
And
I
how's he
don't hear
doing?
from them anymore. He took him and he moved him away, and that was probably the best thing he could have did. But
Right,
he moved him away. And, I know that everybody wanted to know about this. And when it happened, it was the biggest thing that had happened around in the area ever in years and years and years. And I understand, people want to know, but let me tell you that when something like this happens, there's no consideration with the press. There's no consideration. And we had to physically hide that child. We had to physically,
tell me about the funeral. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what you had to do to hide him?
I had a conversion van and had it set up. I have 4 kids of my own, foster, I have a lot of kids. So, my van was pretty set up with games and with everything. And we had to park it close and we had to put a coat over him and take him to my van and let him go in there because they were from different states even. I mean, it was crazy there. It was just insane. On the rooftops, everywhere you looked, they were on the rooftops. They were across the street. They were
Oh
everywhere.
my God. Yeah,
I've never seen, and I understand, and I thank everybody for their support, but there's a line, and it was unreal.
right, right.
I, I can't even explain that.
So, at that age, I'm sure he didn't even really know what was going on, did he?
No, actually, that was one of the saddest things. He's all dressed up in his little suit, looking
Oh,
cute and spiffy, and he came in with his dad and his grandmother and his dad's wife. And he didn't know what he was coming in for, I don't think, and he looked and he seen those caskets with their pictures on them.
right.
And he just completely broke down. He didn't understand.
You know, here you've got. They couldn't even have an open casket.
Now, remember when Chad brought him to them, he didn't change his clothes. He just snatched him up and took him over there to him.
To
And
Sean, the father of the little boy.
yeah, and he took him to his dad's and dropped him off. And they're like, damn, he's all dirty. They didn't bring him any clothes, and so they're like, what the hell? And they go to show him clothes, go to get him some clothes, and there they are. They're like, hey, I tried to wake my mommy and sissies up, but they wouldn't get up. It wasn't
Oh my
blood
God.
on blood on his clothes.
Oh my God. That just sickens me. So he's trying to wake them up and he's covered with their blood.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that just breaks my heart. I cannot imagine what you guys went through. I am so sorry, Angie.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I read this story and my heart was just breaking for these little girls.
Um, like I said, RJ witnessed the thing with Brittany. He was yelling at him, telling him, "Leave my sissy alone. Leave my
Oh my
sissy."
God.
And he told RJ, "Go back to your room." Didn't even look at Britt and turned around and shot her in the face.
And
So
he
RJ
said
there.
the reason why he went back on drugs is he blaming all this on drugs?
Um, well, his exact words were, "We went off the drugs, we got off the dope, and we got fat as hogs. So we went back on the dope, and she wasn't putting out, and I was all jacked up, and she looked like her mama."
Oh my God. What a sick son of a bitch.
Very sick.
Listen, folks, if anybody is telling you that they're being abused, pay attention. Pay attention to what they're saying to you. Look into it.
If your children are uncomfortable, there's a reason.
That's right. Follow through with it. They're saying many, many prayers for you and your family. And so I'm reading you some of the comments. No one should ever have to go through this, especially a child. I'm reading you the comments here. Tina says, let me get the exact words because Tina, she's not for a lack of words, Tina says, I hope he rots in his cell. I'm so sorry for the loss of your dad, Angie. Prayers and condolences to you and your family. She had a rough life. Yep, they all did. Yep. Hey, little lady. You know, here's the thing. This is something that Angie and her family will never forget. It stays with them day in and day out. Day in and day out. And while we're here, I'm going to play this video real quick with the statistics of what happens. And let me get to this. So he was sent to 3 consecutive life sentences, correct, Angie? Okay. So let me pull up. Let me pull up the video. And you guys will be able to see the, I'm going to share it right now. You guys will be able to see the statistics. This is nothing that anybody should have to live through. Here we go, guys. Listen to the statistics. This is real, people.
Approximately 95,000 children are murdered each year globally, and the risk of being murdered as a child is strongly associated with age, gender, and their geography. Children face the highest risk of homicide by parents or someone they know. A child homicide is the most extreme form of violence against children and a tragic event with serious effects on families and the community. October 29th and 30th, two beautiful girls, Victoria, age 10, and Brittany, age 12, were beaten to death and shot along with their mother, Trisha, age 29. Please join us Monday, October 11th at noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, along with the aunt of these girls, as we tell the story of this tragic event and what led to their horrific death.
She was a beautiful lady too.
Trish, yeah, she was something else. When she was straight, she was pretty cool. She was pretty awesome. She was a good friend of mine, until she fell.
Yeah.
She fell to the game.
Drugs.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
happened. But
All right. Well, I know today's been rough on you, Angie, having to bring back all these memories. And, but you know what? Even if we've reached one person today telling your story and saving one life, or bringing awareness to child abuse and to
every child's story should be heard.
very well said. Every child's story should be heard. Very well said. Yes. Yes. I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed visiting with you, even though it's under these circumstances, and how much I've enjoyed, getting to know you over this, over the last couple days. And I'm so sorry for your loss, you and Tina. How do you get over something like this? I don't know. I don't know that you ever do.
You don't. It never goes away. It's always going to be this lurking shadow. I mean, my daughter doesn't even let her children spend the night anywhere. My kids don't let their kids go to kids' houses. They don't spend the night anywhere. They don't go anywhere. They don't go
Right.
to other people's houses. They don't do that. I mean, and it's part of
Right.
our damage. We just,
Right.
you know,
And you know what? She's being protective, because she's been down that road. So I understand completely. You
things
know.
happened to me as a child. So they didn't go, they had very few people that they were allowed to go to.
Right.
There was only maybe two people in Cassidy's whole life I allowed her to stay the night with. So I mean, it passes down, and the damage is just a chain.
Yeah.
Some of this has to be broken. And
Right.
unfortunately, nowadays it's norm to get an Amber Alert on your phone at least once a
Right.
week. That
Right.
shouldn't be normal, you guys.
I
That's
know.
not normal. You
Yeah.
know, they have made this normal, and it's not. This is
Uh-uh.
this is the epidemic right here, guys.
Yep.
This is it. Our
Yep.
children, they're the epidemic. Everybody needs to band together because these laws are ridiculously soft on these people. Ridiculously. They
Are.
make,
They're very soft. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yep. I
it's
agree.
very soft. It's ridiculous. It's shameful.
Yeah. Well, sweetheart, we're going to close out this. Just hang on with me when I close this out. You don't have to go anywhere just yet. I want to thank everybody for coming in and for joining us in this show today, which has been very, very important. And, well, just make your children aware and listen to your children is all I can say. And I want to thank you very much, Angie and Tina. I love you. And thank you, guys. Talk to y'all later.